Well, good afternoon everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again for another scenery review. A little different this time. We're way down in South America. We're in Argentina and you're looking at ESQUEL, General Antonio Parodi Airport, Sierra Alpha Victor Echo. This is a payware scenery by SIMULACION EXTREMA. I'd like to thank them very kindly for sending me a copy for this review purpose. This is version 1, currently for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. Not to be confused with Gothenburg Airport, Echo Sierra Golf Papa, which often comes up. If you put the ICAO code SAVE Sierra Alpha Victor Papa for this airport into the flight simulator bar, you'll get the option of these two. So just make sure you choose the right one. This one in South America, Sierra Alpha Victor Echo. It also comes up with both airports in the Navigraph charts. So again, I'm not really sure why it does that, but just something for you to be careful of. Download is 614 meg and it installs at 1.33 gig. So it's not huge, but there's quite a bit of detail here. It's available from Sim Market currently, and I'll give you the price. €14.40, which equates to $15.79 US or £12.31 UK. As ever, the US and UK prices are all estimates from the euro, but all prices do include tax or VAT, which of course may vary depending on your country of purchase. So let's look at the list of features. You've got modelling of structures according to the new airport improvement plan. Now I believe this airport is undergoing development and has been for a while. High quality 4K textures with PBR. Custom jetway. There is only one jetway on the ramp there. Custom floor textures and tracks, and a modelling of the interior of the terminal and the control tower. So there's a fair bit that's been done here. So it's quite impressive really. I've had a brief look over the scenery. It sits in a stunning location. It is subject to wind. Really, this is a challenging place to land at sometimes. And yes, there are instrument approach charts for it in Navigraph. And as far as I can see, only runway 23 is used for landing. So as ever, let's start with some history. ESQUEL, General Antonio Parodi International Airport, Sierra Alpha Victor Echo, is a public-use international airport owned and operated by the government Airportos Argentina 2000. And as I've said previously, not to be confused with Gothenburg Airport, Echo Sierra Golf Papa, which often comes up in the search menu in FSM when you look for this airport. The airport's located in Chubut province, on the western side of the country of Argentina, and serves the city of ESQUEL. The airport was built in 1944 and was officially inaugurated in April 1945. The new terminal was constructed in 1978 and the only runway was paved in 1973 and then repaved again in 1999 because it was badly damaged. The airport has one passenger terminal and a large hangar on the field. In 2010, over 21,000 passengers flew through ESQUEL Airport. The airport did close temporarily in May 2008 because of volcanic activities in El Chaitén in Chile, not too far away from here. The airport is currently undergoing renovation and improvement, and the scenery does reflect this. Situated in a beautiful location just west of the mountains in the Corcavado National Park, this airport is known for strong winds and demands quite a lot of respect from most pilots. The airport is served mainly by the national airline Aerolíneas Argentinas. So that does it for history. Before we go on to to have a look at the runways, just to let you know that I think the airport is really beautifully done. I did sort of balk at the price when I saw it, because it's a small airport, not an awful lot to it as we can see. But however, the amount of detail and the work that's been done on it, I was beginning to think that actually the price is probably well reflected. But anyway, let's get down and have a look at runways. So ESQUEL Airport operates two runways, 0523 and the smaller 0826. The main runway 0523 measures 7,851 feet or 2,393 meters in length and is made from concrete. The shorter runway 0826 measures just 4,065 feet or 1,239 meters and is constructed with a gravel surface. Now the airport lies at an elevation of 2,625 feet or 800 meters and is located within the GMT UTC -3 hours time zone. Now ESQUEL does not observe daylight saving time or DST and so is currently 4 hours behind the UK. So runway 23, and we're looking down the throat of it now, has a standard instrument landing system, high intensity runway lighting and precision approach path indicators on the left side of the runway. As well as the ILS, you also have RNP and a VOR approach option here. So as we can see, we've got the PAPI on the left, we've got high intensity runway lighting. There's also a centerline light there, as you can see, which is not on the charts, and they've also got approach strobes, again not on the charts. So these obviously been left in the scenery or added, and that's perfectly okay. It really helps anyway with landing onto this runway. No landing approach procedures for runway 05 on the charts, but let's go and have a look at it anyway. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 05. Now you can see you've got runway edge lights, you've got the lighting and the PAPIs. So as I've said, on the charts there are no approach procedures for 05. So you can, you could do a visual approach with the PAPIs, but it might be a bit of fun at night time because there's no vertical guidance, considering there's no ILS and there's no RNP or VOR approach option. So this probably looks like a daytime landing only, and of course you can take off this way, no problem at all. Here we are looking at runway 0826. As you can see, we're looking along runway 08. Now there's no lighting on it, and again no charts, no instrument procedures for this runway at all. So basically this is daytime approach only really, because there's no lighting, and there's nothing on the charts to mention any lighting that's pilot activated. So this is a gravel runway, and certainly in real life it's gravel runway, although it doesn't look like it here in the sim. I don't think it's been modelled as such as a gravel runway. The other thing to mention is there is a VOR on the field, Echo Sierra Quebec at 117.8. So a quick look at the other end, and we get down low and have a look at this and just check that actually it is a default runway and not a gravel one. So here we are, a quick look at runway 26. And here's a close look at the surface. As you can see, it looks like it's just been a modelled runway placed on top of what the scenery has below. I wouldn't for one moment suggest that that's proper gravel. However, there you go, it just completes the runway inspection for you here at this airport. So that does it for runways. Let's have a look at the operation of the one jetway that's on the field. Okay, so here we are at the stand that has the only jetway. As you can see, the aircraft is properly positioned. I've spawned directly from the menu into this position, and you can see by the nose gear we're parked perfectly okay. So let's try the jetway. So that's not too bad at all. Okay, again, as with many jetway situations, you've got the stairwell sinks into the concrete, and the rubber cover, the hood, does actually go through the skin. However, the jetway connects properly, here you can see here, and also the wheels turn, and the jetway is actually nicely modelled, so this is quite good. So here's a close-up look. As you can see, the jetway's all but connected. It's not bad, it's no worse than any of the others we see, but it does connect, and that's great. Here's a view from the other side. As you can see, it's perfectly fine, no problem really. So I have tried looking inside. Here you can see this is about the furthest away from the door that I can get before that happens. So let's disconnect it. Again, as with many jetways, the hood springs back. But the jetway moves back into position perfectly acceptably, no problem at all. So it's a basic jetway, but it works. So that does it for jetways. Let's get down to the airport proper and have a good look. Okay, so let's start with the main tour. So it's just after midday here, and remember we're in the southern hemisphere. It's summer where we are here in the UK, but it's winter down here at the bottom of the world, so to speak. So the sun's quite low in the sky this time of the year. So we'll start with a few sort of images here to show you the airside ramp and some of the details. Here's a view of the main ramp. There's my aircraft parked at the single jetway. And there's a closer look. You can see the ramp detail is excellent. You've got this unique kind of concrete square effect, which I quite like. And all the signage on the ramp is crystal clear and really beautifully done. I know a lot of people prefer the ramp and all the signage to be really weathered and sort of done, as it were, but I quite like the way this is done personally. There you've got the main terminal on the left and the control tower in the distance. As we get down to ramp level, here you can see the detail that for me sort of makes it worth the price. Yeah, there's not a lot here, it's a small airport, you know, but what makes this worth the price for me is the amount of detail, the attention to detail here. Everything down to the cones, down to this little doorway here has been properly parallaxed. The road markings, even the stop sign. You've got the baggage vehicles and a guy there working on the baggage truck. And the detail on the concrete of the building, the way the concrete that has been designed. And of course you've got the interior development of the terminal, which we'll look at in a minute. And here we're looking at the jetway. As you can see, everything down to the door is properly weathered. And you've got the power control unit on the top there, and it looks great. Now we've seen the jetway doesn't really do anything more than the sort of default jetway does. It has all the usual errors, but visually it looks really nice. And again, looking close up at the ramp area, look, you can even see we've got the weathering here and the bolts, the electric situation here. I mean, this really looks nice. It looks really nice, beautifully detailed. And there's a look across the airside ramp here above the roof of the terminal, which just looks great. So looking in this direction, there you've got the tree line there, which looks really good. You've got this rotating radar station, couple of hangars here complete with a crop duster aircraft, and some more buildings, again nicely weathered. Some roadways here that go out to the main runway and to the gravel runway there. Very nice model of the, what looks like a crop duster to me, I might be wrong, but very, very nice model indeed. Couple of hangars, again nicely modelled and detailed. And there you have additional buildings next door to the main terminal, complete with a vehicle there, some baggage containers, and you've got the rotating radar there, looks really good. Let's go look at the control tower. So there's the tower as seen from airside, and animated Argentinian flags there too. We've also got these structures down there to the right, additional hangars, various vehicles and bits and pieces. And here's the interior of the control tower. As you can see, we've got an engineer guy, and complete with various screens and bits and pieces here, which looks quite nicely modelled. And a quick look at the control tower from landside. As you can see, you've got this unique sort of concrete structure which looks very effective and quite different, quite unique. And here we are just next door to the control tower. You've got a car park there to the landside part of it. Various modelled buildings here, all beautifully weathered. And a little hangar there housing that fuel truck, which is different to the default one which you see in front of us. And coming a little bit further along here towards the northeast, you've got this road with some very nice trees and again some various models here. You've got runway sweeper and various bits and pieces, some beautifully modelled buildings. And there you have the fire station, fire tender, and you've got the this is the fire tower where the lookouts would be. And again, beautiful fire tender here, which I believe is modelled as per the Argentinian ones. But the detail is just great. Look at the concrete here. Everything down to the little barriers and the emergency box on the side. There's the road that leads directly out to the runway from the fire station. It's really, really nice. So let's have a look landside. Here we're getting a close-up look at these trees, which are really nicely done. And the road is beautifully 3D modelled all the way out there with the foliage in the right place. It's pretty much nothing that's sitting on the road and blocking it. Again, some nice buildings. And the car park, although they're not sort of properly delineated, although they are in this bit, looks really weathered. It looks very nice. There you can see some people land side of the terminal, some statics. We'll have a look at those in a second. I mean, this all looks very good. It's nicely detailed and modelled. Can't see anything really that's been sort of left out or left to chance. Very nice indeed. So here's the entrance and exit going into the airport, and it's excellent. The only anomaly I can see here is you've got a vehicle with a barrier stuck through it. And here's a close-up. As you can see, the barrier is kind of stuck through the vehicle, which is a pity. But the really good thing is we're close up to this sign and it's still eminently readable. It's not really blurred at all. It's very, very nice. And there's a nice touch. They've got a minibus going in with their own name and website on the side of the vehicle. Nice bit of advertising, guys. So let's tour land side of the terminal, have a look at the people. Really looks nice. As you can see through the windows. The entire side of the terminal has been nicely developed. We'll look at that in a second. There's the name of the airport. Signage looks good. It's all really good up close. People models are very good too. Even got some baggage carts. So let's pop inside the terminal and see what we can see here. Okay, there you look at the baggage reclaim area, which has been nicely done, have to say. That's nice. You've got a log fire. Here's the check-in area. Nice to see some passengers, but unfortunately we've got engineers manning the check-in stations, which is not sort of true to life, but anyway, no real problem. So just wanted to show you this quickly. You've got some high resolution photographs that give the illusion of these two shops, the duty-free shop and the coffee shop. And again, we're close up to one of the departure signs and everything is still very readable, which is really good. Got a very nice stairway conveyor there going up to the upper level. And here on the upper level you've got another duty-free and cream coffee shop. And looking across the upper level here, you can see out through to the Airside. So just a quick tour through here. There you can see another fire, beautifully done, and some lovely models. I really like this. Again, there's an ambience about this that's really, really nice. Very nicely done. So there's the jetway going out to the aircraft. I was a little concerned that actually you could get from the check-in area downstairs, walk across to that escalator and come up and get access to Airside without any security. But actually you can see it's partitioned off. This is your departure gate, it's the only departure gate. So presumably you'd have to go through somewhere to get here, not entirely sure. Oh right, okay, so it's open here. So it's possible that they don't have any security, which is a pity because it's required for a Category 7 airport, which is what this would be under IATA regulations. They are required to have security check. But as you can see, you've got this full airside lounge. And if I go landside and then down, there's the landside area. There's the stairwell in the distance. I don't see any security check. Unless that's some kind of facade. I mean, it all looks really nice. But maybe that's some kind of facade that's just designed that way for the scenery. And maybe security is this way or something like that, not sure. So let's just carry on back this way. We'll go into the baggage reclaim area. As I said, what kind of sets this apart from just any normal little scenery is just the amount of detail that's been done. The work is really, really excellent. So there you go. I think that all looks pretty impressive. And there's a quick look along the landside area there, showing your lighting in the roof. Well, it looks great. But I am concerned about the lack of a security check, considering this is an international airport. Must be a Category 5 or Category 7 airport. So under IATA regs, it needs to have security to separate the departing passengers from everybody else. But I can't see where that would happen, unless this is just a scenery design feature. But that's the only real sort of worry I have at the moment. So as you can see, a very, very nice little airport, quite compact, but plenty of detail, all nicely textured and modelled, all in 4K. And as I said, they've even modelled the entrance here, and the road goes all the way out too. So we start bringing it up here, you can see the road goes right out there. And finally, there's a shot showing you the airport as seen from out on the main road. Okay, let's lower the lighting as we normally do and see what it looks like when the lights come up. Okay, 12 minutes past 6 in the evening. As I said, we're in the southern hemisphere where it's winter down here. So here's the sunset pretty much with the sun almost gone. And as you can see, the lighting is lovely, very nicely done. It's subtle. It's really, really nice. You've got light, airside lights being produced by the lamps here on the edge of the terminal. All looks pretty good. And then you've got lamps on the hangars too. And here, looking at this end of the terminal, there's the control tower building. And you've got this interesting effect here. This is obviously like a parallax image. And again down here. Here we are inside the control tower, and you can see all nicely lit, and we've got the blurring effect with the way the windows are designed for seeing out of the tower. So you've got the fire station. Again, some nice lighting, very subtle. No Asobo globes floating around, I'm happy to say. Lights all being provided correctly, as indeed it should be. Quick look at the taxiway signage in general. It all looks good. That's a nice touch there. They've even got the VOR frequency listed on a board there, which is cool. Taxiway Alpha into the main ramp looks good. Runway designation as well. And the ground features are still easily seen. And you've got the blue airfield edge lights, which denote the taxiway and ground area as well. Here's taxiway Charlie that goes out to the threshold of runway 05. Again, you've got some little demarcation lines here that are partially lit, which is a real help, and the signage is good. And again, you've got taxiway Bravo that leads out to middle section of the runway 2305. As you see from this shot, you would take taxiway Bravo and taxi all the way down the runway to turn at the other end if you were taking off from runway 23. So there's the threshold of 05, again with a turning option here, and you also got this concrete area going off to the gravel runway, which as you can see is completely unlit at this time of the day. Beautiful view of the mountains in the distance. And there's a nice shot showing both airside ramp and the landside area behind front of the terminal there. Beautiful lighting, it all looks really pleasant at this time of the day. And a little expanded shot there looking at the landside part of the terminal. You can see in through the glass, which looks good. Car park's well lit, and you've got various lighting here as well. All of it looks really good. Again, no Asobo glows floating around ruining the whole thing. Looks very nice indeed. So from this point, let's drop it down to night time. So 9 PM local time, and darkness is fully upon us. Here we are looking landside as before. I mean, it looks great. It looks very nice. There's a wider shot looking from landside showing you the entrance to the airport. There's a control tower fully lit with our friend inside who's been on duty a long time now. And again, various bits of subtle lighting showing you the fire station here and the control fire tower and the various buildings and bits and pieces. Looks really nice. And there's a shot looking from airside over the terminal building towards landside. Gives you the full night lighting illumination. It's not really going to be any problems getting here at all, especially with the blue airfield edge lights. You will, however, need your nose gear light to follow the taxiway lines in. But other than that, cool. Parking for 2 jet stands here, one that's connected to the terminal, another one that's a stairwell option here. Haven't seen anything taxi, any vehicles going out onto the runway, which is a good thing. There's the threshold of 05. And there we are looking down the runway to the threshold of runway 23 rather in the distance. You've got the lead-in strobes. And the runway centre line is a huge help, even though it's not listed on the charts, nor are the leading lights, to tell you the truth. When they leave these things into the scenery, obviously it's going to help you significantly. So all in all, it looks really nice. Let's bring the dawn up. So it's 9:20 in the morning. As you can see, the sun is beginning to come up, and you've got the last bit of lighting on the field that will go out in about 2 minutes. A beautiful red hue on the mountains behind it. I mean, it looks glorious. There's a quick look looking out to the threshold of runway 23, and you can see the sun will come up behind the mountains there. Very nice indeed. Okay, 10 AM local time, and time to give you my thoughts and conclusions. As I said at the outset, when I looked at the price for this, I wasn't too sure about it. It's not a huge product. It's a small airport, even though it's an international airport. But actually, as I've had a closer look, you've got 4K textures, not 2K. You've got an incredible amount of attention to detail. They've textured almost everything that I can see. Buildings look wonderfully weathered. And what is in the scenery is beautifully modelled. And it's the attention to detail and the work that's been put into this to make it look as good as it does, I think, that makes it deserve the price. The only issue I have, as I said, this is an international airport under IATA regulations, Category 5 or Category 7, so it needs to have a security check. And of course, when we've looked inside the terminal, we've seen that kind of modelled wall with the escalator going up to departures. So I'm hoping that's just a scenery feature, that they've put in that way to make it look the way it is, even though maybe it's not correct. Or if it is correct and this airport doesn't have a security check, that's a major problem, because you have to have it, unfortunately. Those of you who know me know that I've spent nearly 38 years in airport security, aviation security, so I do have some experience in these matters, and they do need a security check for all international airports. And I can't see one, but that's the only major red flag that I can see about this scenery. But the detail is fantastic. It sits in a lovely location. It's a very, very nice product, quite nicely priced. I think it's about the right price for what it is, given the work that's been done. And I've no hesitation in recommending it. Aerolíneas Argentinas goes in and out of here all day long, and you're going to have some challenges with some of the winds the way this is. So for those of you who are looking for a challenge, there's one here that I can thoroughly recommend. But as a scenery, a standalone product, it looks pretty nice. So there you go, folks. ESQUEL, General Antonio Parodi Airport, Sierra Alpha Victor Echo. Payware scenery by SIMULACION EXTREMA, version 1 for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. And as I've said before, not to be confused with Göteborg Airport in Sweden, Echo Sierra Golf Papa, which often comes up when you do an SAVE search of an ICAO code in Flight Sim 2020, and it also happens in Navigraph charts, so just make sure you choose the correct airport. Download is 614 meg, installs at 1.33 gigs. Available now from Sim Market for €14.40, which equates to roughly $15.79 or £12.31 UK. US and UK prices are all estimates from the euro, and these prices include tax or VAT, which may vary depending on where you are when you buy it. So this is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, wrapping up another scenery review. Guys, thanks for joining me. Thank you to all my subscribers, slowly but surely pushing towards 1,000 of them. Really like this scenery, despite the fact that it's not huge. I don't get to South America very much, but I'm tempted to do something just to try and explore and enjoy this scenery. So look out for a video for that. As for later this week, I'm hoping to get 3 videos out this week. This was the first one. We're also going to look at Faro, the new release by RD Presets. And again, thanks to them for sending me a copy. That looks to be a really nice airport. Big question, is it better than the Asobo default? And is it better than the Tropical Sim one that was released? Hopefully we'll answer those questions in that review. And then later on, we're going to look at the newly released Stockholm Arlanda Airport in Sweden, released by Orbix. Acclaimed developer Marcus Nyberg has been working his magic again, and we're going to have a look at that and see exactly what he's done. So join me for those 2 reviews this week if you can, but thank you very much for watching. My name's Lee, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.